Hello, my friends from the Norristown WOW program. It is so great to be with you again. I know that I got to meet many of you through our yoga work that I did when I popped into the schools. If I haven't met you before, my name is Jessie McFarland, and I am so excited to work with you and just to give you a few tips and tricks that really have been helping me during this kind of uncertain time and with all of these things going on, looking for ways to kind of reduce my stress and help me to stay calm. So that's what I'm going to offer for you today. We're going to talk about mindful movement, which, if you remember, yoga is a huge piece of my world and something that I tap into all of the time to help me in my stress reduction. So my statement for today, and kind of a thought that I want you to think of as we're going through this, in yoga speak, we call it an intention, is I would love for you to say to yourself, focus on what's in my control and let go of everything else. Because right now, specifically during this time, there is a lot that is out of our control. There's a lot of things that are happening in the news and that are happening, around us. And we really don't have the ability to affect that in any way right now. But what we can affect is our inner calm and how we're kind of relating to the information and the things that are happening and how we're processing through that. So I'm going to give you a couple tips, but the first thing, before we get into movement, I just thought that if you're willing, we could kind of take a minute just to breathe. So I'm going to introduce you to a breathing technique that I call the 4-second breath, okay? And what you're going to do is you're just going to do a series of inhales through your nose. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to hold for 4, and then you're going to release and exhale through your nose for 4. So it's kind of like a square breath a little bit, but it's just a count of 4. And this is a really nice way. A lot of times when we're stressed or we have some tension and things that are happening in our bodies, when we can tap into our breath, it immediately calms our central nervous system and helps us get back to a better place. So if you could breathe with me, we're going to take an inhale, breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that again. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and breathe. So sometimes that's one of the things that I tap into constantly. If I'm feeling frustrated, if I'm feeling overwhelmed, if something happens and I need to respond to it, I use my breath as a way to calm myself down so that when I respond in a calmer, kinder way. So just some food for thought. But when we talk about movement, I know that in phys ed and in some of these classes that you take when you're at school, you're doing a lot of running and movement and kind of high intensity stuff. The type of movement I'm going to talk about today is just more of a gentle stretching of your body. So that's where yoga comes in, because what it does is it ties that breath work that we just worked on and stretching. So you get both benefits of the mental and the mind and the physical where your muscles are moving. And I could tell you all the benefits about physical movement, and I'm sure you've learned a lot of this. It does so many things for your muscle structure and your body, but mental fitness and how our brain responds to things, that can also be impacted by the way that we move our bodies. So this could be any type of movement. This could be going outside and taking a walk, which then you get like a double dose, right? You get the vitamin D and the experience of being out in nature, but then you also get to move. So walking is a beautiful way to move your body. But if you wanted to try some yoga, I thought maybe we could introduce something that I utilize. One of the benefits of moving your body isn't just the physical, like I said, but there's also these things that are now being identified in research called hope molecules. And in our muscles, we actually have the specific chemicals that when we work out, they are released. And it is a natural way to feel happy and joyful and connected. And so not just the physical benefits, but it also is a beautiful way to support your mental health. In the mornings, even if you just wanted to do just something to start your day on the right foot, If you're in a place that you can sit with me, you can even press pause for a second so you can get in a place. I just thought I'd lead you through some gentle stretching real quick, just to introduce just a quick little first thing in the morning, start your day right. So if you aren't sitting, press pause and then press play. So if you are sitting, you can kind of sit crisscross applesauce, and you're gonna make sure that your spine is nice and straight. When we do yoga, you wanna almost pretend like there is a string that is pulling your head up towards the ceiling. And when your spine is straight, it sends your body a signal that you're ready to go. So you're gonna take a deep breath in, and you're gonna raise your arms up above your head. And on your exhale, you're gonna release your right palm down to the ground, and your left hand is just gonna stretch up and over. So this gives your body just that nice side stretch, and you'll recognize that your bottom starts to come up off the ground. So try to plant and root your bottom onto the floor so that you really feel the stretch in your side body. So just take a moment to take a deep breath in here, feel how your muscles are stretching and lengthening, and then you're gonna come up to center. You're gonna take that same hand that was lifted, and you're gonna place it on your right knee, and you're gonna take your right hand and place it right behind your lower back, and you're just gonna twist your spine, bringing your gaze to the back of the room, just allowing that spine to twist and settle. But please make sure that your body is nice and straight and your head is nice and tall. So you're kind of like wringing yourself out almost like a towel. This is so good. When we do twisting motions, it also helps with digestion and our stomach. So if you find that when you're stressed, your belly gets upset, this is a nice way to kind of relieve that stress and tension. And then we're gonna come back forward. And I'm gonna give you a shoulder stretch, because this is something that we see a lot right now because we're all connected to our devices. You're doing online learning, you're communicating with your friends that way, which is beautiful, but it is causing some stress and tension in our neck and our shoulders. So we're just gonna do a couple things to relieve that. We're gonna take our hands up to goalpost arms, and you're gonna have two options here. You're gonna take your right elbow and you're gonna wind it underneath your left, and you can even wrap one more time like this, or you can just place your hands on your shoulders. This might be a better place for most of us. Now you're just gonna take a deep breath in, and you're just gonna lift your elbows up, and you'll feel the muscles in your back start to stretch. And then you're gonna lean forward, and you're just gonna bring your elbows to the ground. So just feel what that feels like in your spine. And you can stay in that folded position. I'm gonna count to about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can come back up and join me. You're gonna release. Maybe do a nice little shoulder roll, maybe do a nice little neck roll just to relieve some tension in your neck. It feels really good to bring your ear to your shoulder, and then even just pause there for a moment and feel how the side of your neck stretches. You can look up at the sky, you can do the other side. So these neck rolls are really helpful in releasing some of the tension. We hold a lot of stress in our shoulders, so taking a moment to relieve that is really, really helpful. Okay, so then we're gonna breathe in, arms are gonna stretch up to the sky. We're gonna exhale and bring our left hand to the mat or the floor, and our right hand is gonna stretch up and over. And remember to plant that right sit bone down on the ground so that you are feeling the stretch in your side body and you're not lifting off the floor. So notice the difference. Does this side feel a little stiffer? Do you feel like there might be some more tension here? And if so, then that just means you need to stretch it a little bit longer. So let's not forget to breathe, taking those deep inhales. Then on your exhale, coming back up, and we're gonna take that lifted hand and we're gonna place it on our left knee, and we're gonna take our left hand and we're gonna place it behind our lower back, and then we're going to twist to the back of the room one more time, elongating our spine, pretending like that string is pulling us up, and just taking a moment to wring out that towel. This should feel good for your body. Hold it for one more moment, and then we're gonna come back to front. So last time I had you take your right arm underneath your left. So this time you're gonna do goalpost arms. You're gonna take your left elbow and you're gonna place it under your right. And maybe this is enough and you just wanna grab your shoulders, or maybe you wanna wrap one more time. This is called eagle arms, so that your thumbs are pointing towards your third eye. Either way, you're gonna inhale, lift your elbows, and exhale, you're gonna fold forward and just feel how that movement feels so good and stretches out the back of your shoulders. So again, just doing this mindful movement, you're releasing those hope molecules into your body. It's sending joy and relaxation and calm. It's helping your central nervous system kind of rewire, and it just feels really good. So those are just really quick. That took us all of about 4 minutes. When you wake up in the morning, instead of the first thing you do, like grab your phone, because that tends to be what we do, maybe just take a moment, do the 4-second breathing, and then do those quick stretches. Arms up to the side, twist back, and do that shoulder stretch, and then the other side. And then you can start your day and feel like you're calm and collected and relaxed. So if you're interested in yoga, if it's something that you've kind of been curious about, I'm going to introduce you to a tool that I use that I really, really this week would love for you to tap into. It is an app that you can download on your phone, and it is free, and it's called Down Dog. So DOWNDOG. And they have a whole bunch of different workout and movement apps. The one that I'm going to ask you to tap into is the yoga, but they also have a beginner's yoga one. So that might be a beautiful place for you to start. They have HIIT workout ones. They have like a 7-minute workout one. But for our purpose, I would love for you to download the yoga. And what's really cool about this app is that it allows you a selection of what type of yoga you would like to do. So gentle yoga is going to be a lot more gentle on your body. That's a beautiful place to start. Restorative yoga is even slower and calmer with stretching. You can do a flow yoga, which is going to be a little bit faster. And then you can also say what level. So it could be beginner, which I think most of us probably are at beginner, and then moving up to different levels of comfortability so that you can challenge yourself once you get the hang of some of these stretches in this movement. The cool thing about this is it journals and charts your progress. So that's where this is going to come in. I would love for you to take time this week to practice yoga. For me, I start every single morning with a 30-minute yoga practice. If 30 minutes sounds like way too much time, it's awesome because you can make it for 5 minutes all the way up to like 2 hours. So do 5 minutes, do 10 minutes, but just give your body the gift. They play beautiful music in the background. You can pick like acoustic, you can pick like more upbeat, any type of music that you want. In fact, it links to Spotify. So if you're into Spotify, you can, if you like a song, you can go check it out immediately and save it to your playlist, which is something that I do all the time. But it plays music and it's just super inspiring. It's a great way to start your day. And when we tap into that mindful movement, that is something we can control. When we go back to that statement of focus on what you can control and let go of everything else. Yoga truly does give us that space to focus and go inward and help ourselves to get to the best place we can be so that we can show up for others. Okay? So this week we're going to practice mindful movement. We are going to chart our use of the Down Dog app. And I will try to send a link and put an image in here so that you can see that. I want to see what you are doing with this yoga app. So please send a screenshot at the end of the week of your practices that you tried. It will fill my heart and make me feel so happy to see you utilizing this because I know from experience that this is something that can really, really make a difference. In gratitude to you, thank you for continuing to look at social emotional learning. This taps perfectly into the competency of self-management. Remember back to our competencies. So when we start with self-awareness and we can say, I'm not feeling my best today, the next thing to do is to practice anything that can get you back to that better space. So breathing is a beautiful way to do that. Mindfulness we've talked about before, and yoga and stretching and moving your body is a perfect example of self-management to get yourself to your optimal level. So in the spirit of self-management, go out there and do some stretching. And I hope to see all of you very, very soon. Take care.